president. This is part 2. I hope that you've seen the first video, or that you'll see one of these. Chance is slim, but then again, you never know. Sometimes people get their 3 minutes for their 3-minute elevator pitch, and it changes the direction of their life. And if they're an altruistic person like me and pragmatic like me, then it will also change the direction of others' lives. It's like Jesus did. Just like Rabbi Hillel talked about, one life touches another life, and ultimately you could touch thousands in one lifetime. That being said, please investigate and do something with Aleda E. Lutz, Lieutenant Aleda E. Lutz, VA Medical Center in Saginaw, Michigan. Veterans are getting many times poor care, a poor standard of a poor standard of care that could be much better, even by VA standards. Many times veterans are getting limited care, or certain care is arbitrary. And, being in the care of the VA, it's not just about medical care, it's also about compensation for some of us. And I've experienced being underrated from the beginning. I've experienced the VA, when they looked at my initial claim, not giving me the benefit of the doubt. For example, I've had sinus infections almost every year for the past 20 years. Almost every year. And the vast majority of years, it's two plus times. But I was still given a 0% rating. Even though I get steroids for my nose to help. I was underrated. I was underrated for asthma. I have a lot of breathing issues. Asthma plus issues with my throat and my stomach. Still, I was underrated and robbed of. Last time I calculated, this is a conservative estimate, anywhere from $50,000 to $90,000 in back pay. I was robbed of it because I was underrated. And this VA likes to retaliate. I mean, it's not uncommon for VAs in Michigan to retaliate, but this VA especially likes to. And you'll find, you go through some of these flagged veterans, it's not VA staff doing it, it's people from the call center. These are not even technically VA employees. They're not even VA contractors. They contract with other companies that contract with the VA. But yet they're weaponizing VA systems. The DBRS system is not supposed to shame veterans anyway. It's supposed to identify veterans that have emotional issues or pain issues, or they're not receiving good care. By, of course, the flagging system is humiliating, but besides that, they're sharing in public in their case, their medical file of, conversation, of plans, of diagnoses. When that becomes public, that protocol of sharing everything, then it actually opens up the door so the veteran can get better care. There's no need for shaming, period. But the good part of this protocol, it gets everybody talking so the veteran gets better care if the system is used correctly. That being said, some of us veterans have had increased ratings, but they refuse to update our master va.gov file, and they refuse to pay us our compensation, even though it's right there in the claim letter. Or the VA will try to find a way to go against, the local VA, if they don't like the veteran, will try to find a way to go against the claim letter. Find a way to, contravene it, or find a way to just ignore it. Or create new words. Some of the people in the call center create a new word called a non-service rating. There's no such thing. You have your service rating for your medical issue, and then you have your combined service rating, which is all of the medical issues punched into a formula and calculated out. Generally, you go up 10% every 10 to 20%. Generally, your combined service rating will go up 10% for every 10, 20 to 30%. It just depends on how it all plays out. With that being said, people such as myself who were just given 60%, which I was only rated 2 months ago, so right there, that says that, I was underrated. Within a span of 2 months, your breathing and asthma issues don't just worsen in a span of 2 months. I was underrated from the beginning, losing out on a lot of back pay. But I'm not the only one. I know of many other veterans from this VA, similar type situation. Now, they will blame the intake center, but the intake center is a place for disseminating documents, disseminating jobs, nationally and also locally, for those jobs to be done at C&P in the local area, and all the way up to regional. Sometimes people log in across the country, but not always. Many times it's local or regional. So people are being underrated, underpaid. It's causing harm to their families. Many parent, whether male or female, but especially male, humiliated because not only do they have multiple medical issues, but they can't provide income to their family. So this situation has become very empowering for those females who like to humiliate males. And I'm hoping, Mr. President, that you will look at this and look into it, because there's a lot of people here that could be re-educated, retrained, and become better helpers for our nation's veterans in this region. And there could be some people that could be transferred out, some people that could be retired, or some people that could be retained and transferred in. There's people much more educated and much higher above my pay grade. Besides, my graduate training's not in this area, but they would be much more apt to decide these things than myself. I just want to alert you. This video is not as short as I wanted, but I wanted to show both sides that there's hope here, but until people are forced to do the right thing and are really, really held accountable, and some people probably, until those people are held accountable and forced to do the right thing, they won't. The ones that are mistreating veterans, because they've probably been doing it for a long time. This is a very vulnerable population that attracts the type of people who have predatory attitudes, especially our older veterans. They will be attracted to them because older veterans don't put up a fight. And there's good people that work at this VA that either one, they just want to keep their employment to retire, or two, they don't care, or three, they're intimidated and they don't want to speak up because they've seen others get stomped down who tried to fight back and advocate for veterans. Please, Mr. President, you have the power. Secretary of the VA has the power. There's a lot of people have the power to correct things. And obviously, administration here knows what's going on. Either they choose to ignore it, or they just want to do their time there so they can move up to a higher GS level and a higher step level. Please, Mr. President, look into this place. Protect us.